is waiting on fries. That you don't get it? What do you mean you don't get waiting on fries?
Hopefully the customer never hears waiting on fries, but all this time on the entree and it's perfectly executed and then you're
It's
like,
ready to go.
I forgot to fire the fries.
I just always use that when I forgot to put somebody's order in, and I was like, hey, I'm just waiting on the fries. It's going to be 2 more minutes. Realistically, I come back 10 minutes with the food.
Exactly.
We were working over the week over at this, I've been helping my buddy out at Yacht Club on Thursday and Friday nights. And by Yacht Club, I'm not meaning necessarily pinky out. It's like the working class yacht club. It's like where they go to congregate, talk some shit about business, have some deals. Maybe they do their phone calls during the day or whatnot. I'm just painting this little picture. It's been there forever. It's not super shiny or anything like that. It's a working class hangout, right? It's the boys club.
Okay.
So I've come in, and every day when I come in, they do a lunch there. And all of a sudden, the older crowd of ladies that have belonged to this club for the last 75 years, they've started congregating here. And yeah, maybe one of them belongs to the yacht club here, but they start congregating. And then what happens is they're playing, I guess, gin. What do they play?
I don't know.
Gin rummy?
Gin rummy, probably. Yeah, the older crowd, whatever they play.
They play the pie, what's it called?
Pai Gow?
Pai Gow, yeah.
Pai Gow.
Things that go over my head. I'm not there yet. I need another 40 years. However, they start congregating. Maybe one of them gets a sandwich, splits it 4 ways for the girl. Right? You could do this. There's no rules on splitting sandwiches or anything like that. Then next thing you know, the next day, all of a sudden they doubled as if somebody fed them after midnight. And now it's like day 3 in.
Are you comparing your customers to gremlins?
Yes. Okay. And now it's like day 3, 4. Now there's like a whole corner lockdown of just like the elderly gin rummy squad hanging out at these tables all day long. And just,
do they buy a sandwich every day though?
Yeah, and complain. But
do they split it evenly? Is it one sandwich and first it was for 4, and now we're splitting it 8 ways, and now we're splitting it? The sandwich doesn't increase, but the number of people do.
It almost like might as well, from my understanding. And again, I'm not there during the day, and I'm just hearing things from the back of the house to the front of the house, right? Because there's always a weird translation that it's not understood very well, or how to maybe handle it with the guest is not as smooth and I don't know, tiptoeable maybe. So sure enough, I'm looking at things like, well, we can't yell at the guests really at all for splitting the sandwich. That's not like they could do whatever they want with it.
They're paying customers once they have the sandwich.
If you want to apply a charge for sharing plates, like, yeah, you could do that. It's probably not the greatest decision to do it. But sure enough, I go, where are they all coming from? Where are these people coming from? Sure enough, there's like an old home kind of like right behind the place. And they just trickle down, probably in a single file line, like you used to do in grade school when you're going on a little mid-class field trip.
Word gets out in that community.
So so the question is like, how do you handle this situation? Like, who's going to go over to the lead?
They got the AOL chat room.
They're
all still in it.
It's like gin rummy at the club.
Who is the senior in charge, right? Who's the most senior here, and who is going to take the blunt of this conversation? Where it's like, hey, you cannot bring Tammy, Becky, Sue down here. They don't necessarily belong to the yacht club, plus the other 6 that come in to do gin rummy. It's almost like you need security at the door.
Do they belong somewhere else that has reciprocity?
What is reciprocity?
It's like when the clubs, if there's a bunch of clubs in one area, they'll give members at other clubs
a little discount,
like a guest membership. So if you're a member at one club that's in the vicinity of another club, you can go to their place, and their members can go to your place. So it's like
that's interesting.
It's like
that's like buying a pass for snowboarding or skiing, and you get to go all 12 mountains that they own and have deals with. I don't think so, not to my knowledge, but it's just interesting to see.
You could do like what we talked about a couple episodes ago. Put like a time limit on the table. Let them know when they come in. Like, I'm going to leave this table later.
Or table minimums.
Yeah. Say like one sandwich for every 2 people.
So, and here's the thing too, because
don't they usually have a minimum spend at the clubs anyway? They have to spend every month.
This is a working man's club. It's not the bougie club.
Right,
one
sandwich a day. That's the minimum.
But yeah, every year I guess they're what they call the chick cards. They're loaded up with funds because the membership dues cover some of that, so it brings them back in. So their cards have XX amount of money on it, and they're able to just spend the money as they go. I don't think that putting a minimum on a table is something you can really do in a club that you belong to, as, using it as a hangout room or whatnot too. So, at some point cracking down does have to happen, I guess, as the powers start getting abused in certain ways. You can't say, listen, I would love to have the BLT, but also can you add steak on it? Yeah, no extra charge. Just add me a little steak and some cheese on there too. And then when you get the bill, go, wait, why is this an extra $4.75 or, whatever it may be? Let me explain to you that the BLT is bacon, lettuce, tomato only.
Not steak.
Not with the steak slice on top of it. You know what I mean?
What you want is a steak sandwich with a little bacon, lettuce, tomato on it.
Correct. And we understand that from being on the backside. But yeah, it has to be something that's finessed. So my question too is, just dealing with this, giving an inch and taking a mile happens all the time in this business, where I don't like the word customer. I like the word guest. The guest is always right, kind of.
I say it all the time too.
Right, and
guest.
It's more hospitable. It's it's not just transactionary. But with that said, at what point do you start giving a little bit of leeway, and then that leeway is fully abused? And then how do you really handle those situations? And we've seen it time and time again.
I think it's tough because the club life is so different. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even relating it to this.
I worked in a bougie club, so I don't have the exact thing, but it didn't matter. Like I had the same thing. They have the bridge. They played a lot.
Oh, bridge. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for too. Bridge. They used to come lunchtime, 30 ladies playing bridge. They don't want to spend any money or whatever, but they're members. So it's like, what do you say? You're a member. You do whatever you want. It's like, I'm just here to serve the members, and it's the same people. It's not like not that you want to relieve yourself of a guest anyway in like a public setting, but they're going to be your guest tomorrow, the next day, whatever. They're members, they're paying. So it's a little different of how you go about. You set a table minimum, but for what? Because they're members, they can do whatever.
and that's something that needs to be understood.
But usually
too.
it's the pay structure is different. Like it shouldn't matter. So the way a club, at least at the level that I was at, the clubs would they operate to break even. They don't operate to make money. They want to break even at the end of the day. So the money that comes in from membership and from weddings and from banquets and everything is supposed to cover the cost of running the club, and that's it. And that's why it's like a club, right? They own, essentially, for lack of a better way to explain it, each member owns a share of the club, and then they're basically splitting the amenities. They're all saying, we would like a place to go to the pool, have dinner, have service, have a bartender, whatever the club has, tennis, golf, whatever kind of club it is. They're saying if we get a whole bunch of people together, we could have this place and it would be cheaper than like buying this place and just living there, right? That's essentially what a club is. And the membership fees are supposed to just cover the cost of the amenities, not necessarily profit.
Well, that makes a lot of sense then now as I look at the prices of some of the drinks on the board and I go, oh my God, this is dirt cheap over here to get bottles of beer and whatnot.
Right.
And that makes sense. And, my buddy's contracted out to run this kitchen here now too. So, he's making money off of the plates that are being put out. And now here's the further question that could be discussed or thought about. And this specific place has maybe had a lot of fried foods their whole life in that place. Nothing illustrious, nothing super fancy. None of your Danny Myers plates, I'm pointing at Nooms, being put out there like that. And Kev has a little bit of that. He's putting out these beautiful, sexy plates, things they've never seen before. But along with that comes a higher price point. So when you're dealing with a club where everybody has just seen something for so long, it's almost like you have to tiptoe around your price points and your menu, because now that they're seeing things that are $22, $26 on the menu, and seeing that like just above 20 price, where they've always been used to seeing the 14 and 16, what I'm worried about is a coup d'etat, which is very possible in a club because they all know each other. Some people are very influential in the clubs, and all it takes is, Harry, for instance, to just put out the email to the chain and say, hey, we're not ordering anything till the prices come down. And that could just kill your business. Yeah, you're talking about hiring people to actually make sure all the food's prepped and ready to go. You're hiring the waitstaff to make sure you're taking care of the tables. You got the food runner in the place too. And at what point is it detrimental where, maybe you cross the line with the wrong person and then you kind of put yourself in a box? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I mean, customer feedback is important, and knowing that your product is right for the market ahead of time is important too. Like he doesn't want to go in there and start charging too much, knowing that the people don't want to pay those prices.
Yeah, totally. You should be able to get a good idea of who it is that you're serving before you even go in there, right? And kind of build something around.
Know what they're willing to spend.
The tough part is when you get a contract like that, it's like awesome because you got a contract. You're like guaranteed business, and usually it's exclusive, right? So if you get the contract to run a snack bar or something at one of these clubs, you're the only guy running the snack bar. They don't have a choice, right? But you got to make sure that you don't overbid or underbid, and get killed on the whole deal. Because let's say you underbid, you signed a contract, so you have to fulfill it.
So you're in, yeah.
So you're in, and if you underbid, you kind of screwed yourself for a whole year, basically.
Correct.
And so you really have to know going in who's there and what they want. Like I would probably have a whole set of questions.
Yeah.
You almost can't be a brand anymore. You're just like, I have the contract to run this kitchen at this club. It's not if Smokehouse was doing it, they might say like, oh, we want to have a Smokehouse in our club. Okay,
yeah, but like, what do you really
do that?
want?
But like, let's talk about what you really want.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have a long conversation about, because these are the price points. You're not going to get Smokehouse at 50% discount, but we can do A, B, and C. Maybe do a satellite thing, a couple things, and maximize or whatever. But you almost have to say, I'm not a brand anymore. I'm running this kitchen. This is I got a gig. I got a catering gig over here, and let's talk to them, get exactly what they want. Make sure that no one's surprised by the price point going in, and then like if you talk to them, say like we need to run a $15 to $20 entree price point, and then you can figure out what you're going to do to hit that price point.
And I agree with everything that you're saying too. And I'm under the impression maybe in the back end that they're looking to youthen the place up. Youthen? Can I use that way? Trying to youthen the place up. It makes sense though, right?
I understand what you're saying.
I don't think it's a word.
I don't think it's correct. No, is somebody going to take me to grammar jail out there? I hope not.
Maybe.
With that said though, I think they're trying to...
Jail?
Grammar
jail.
Grammar. I'm going to put the other young ladies in grandma jail.
You got to be careful. You almost said euthanize.
I understand how close I am to some things. But I'm under the impression that they're trying to spruce the place up a little bit and provide some sexier looking things to get younger audience and crowd. A younger audience and crowd into the place. And with doing that, some of these items are special requested from some of the board. They wanted to do Wagyu and shit in here, and I don't think that anybody can justify the cost of it to actually put it in there for, the handful of members that come out for dinner on Thursday nights.
If that's what they want, that's what they want.
The board, is that made up of the members? Because if they're asking for it, then that's what he should do.
The board, of course the board's made up with some of the members. Yeah. But the problem is, but you know the price point on it too.
I do, and so you tell them what it is and say, this is what you asked for.
Yes, but in getting contracted and such in doing this, where you're taking... is essentially all of the food sales that exist in the business. If they want to put that on there and you just eat that as a loss because nobody wants to pay for it, then that creates a problem in itself.
You know what? I don't know enough about the country club life to really. I mean, I was there for a little bit.
We're partially speculating, right?
Yeah. You know what we should do is try to get a club guy in here.
You want to talk to a club? We'll do that.
We should talk to a club guy.
I think so.
Do you know a guy who works in the club business?
Yeah, we'll reach out. People are always sliding in the DMs. You guys know a country club guy? Slide in our Waiting on Fries podcast DM there and tell us who we should be talking to, preferably in the area so we can put out some nice quality sounds.
What do you got going on now? You just picked up a new gig?
I did. I will be part-time at USC in the upcoming weeks, Union Square Cafe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was about to ask.
I know. They're
University of Southern California.
Exactly. I'm out. I'm leaving.
Tuesday and Thursday. He's going to fly out to California and come back.
But no, so a couple of my buddies from Manhattan are working over there now, and they're currently in the midst of Restaurant Week. New York City Restaurant Week is running from January 25th.
Because the city's finally going to be allowed to open back up.
Yeah, so from January 25th to February 28th is New York City's Restaurant Week. They're doing it a little bit different this year. It's a takeout-only themed thing. So for takeout and delivery for $20.21, you get a nice little offering from a handful of restaurants. USC being one of them.
I'm just like, I'm over here just looking at both of you just with emptiness inside. Like, I I want to be excited by it, but then it's like, all right, it's takeout only. All right, cool. That's a way to do it, I guess, because nobody could really sit in the restaurants anyway.
Well, but you can on Friday. You can.
Well, the price points are pretty good. $21.95 to just order something out.
On to go.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. Get it?
Oh, got it. Next year, it's going to go up a penny. Inflation's happening.
Damn it.
50 years, those margins are going to be crazy.
So sure enough, though, I mean, I like the idea that I guess there's tons of restaurants participating in this.
I've flipped through the list. There's a handful of restaurants on there.
So my question is, it's pretty expensive to stock a fridge going from 0 to kind of 100. And I guess we are in the area where we're starting to open the restaurants back up a little bit as we're gearing into summer because it's here already, right? It's like
It's been here.
Yeah. So
Even though there's like 800 feet of snow outside.
I guess there's less risk, right? And filling up the fridge and being able to start selling things.
So I mean,
this
a lot of these
month.
places have been working on takeout only and outdoor dining. Some of them have little huts built up, so it's not really 0 to 100 for a lot of these places. For places that it is 0 to 100, I couldn't imagine what they're going through.
It's going to 25% too, so it's really going 0 to 50.
Yeah, or 0 to 25.
25.
Exactly.
I love the meme that's circulating too, where it's just like a picture of the outdoor area that one of the restaurants with a little bit of money put together, where they essentially just built another
an indoor
restaurant outside, where it's completely enclosed. It's got walls and whatnot. Like,
Hey man, if you've got the finances behind it to make that happen for your staff and your business.
yeah, but it's comical that you could do that,
Yes.
and you're essentially just creating a smaller restaurant outside of your already built restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, this is where we're at.
Again,
with things.
it goes down that meme, man. It goes driving. People miss the point of it. It goes down to square footage, not outdoor seating. It's like you're increasing your footprint, so you have more space to do the distancing and all that other stuff.
Oh, and we spoke about that.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so if you're able to do it, go for it. But either way, like everybody's starting to get back into the game with indoor dining.
Has Union Square been doing takeout the whole time? Because I know that they closed a lot of their restaurants.
Yeah, so I believe they've been going strong since like last May.
Oh, okay. So they've been
going
the whole summer or whatever. So
Yeah.
so it's also so it's much easier for them to like gear up a little bit.
And I was telling Jay before you got here, they also ship food nationwide via Goldbelly.
Oh,
They have
really?
this 100-layer lasagna that you can get all
Goldbelly,
across
man.
the country.
Everybody's getting on that Goldbelly.
I told Nooms also, I was just looking at the prices, I just can't warrant ordering anything through Goldbelly, though.
But you gotta
I
think,
understand
if you
it
were-
works.
If you were in like California and you wanted some of Danny Meyer's famous lasagna, Goldbelly is the way to get it.
Yeah, you can't warrant the price because you can go get it in 10 minutes.
I guess so.
You know?
But even
But
on the-
imagine, is there anything like on the other side? Like what about like a
Chicago pizza or something
or like
crazy
In and
shit?
Out or something like
Yeah,
that?
In and Out.
I mean,
They
I
ship
guess.
raw burgers. That's kind
I,
of cool.
I don't know. I assume like I'm just thinking of
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm on board with Goldbelly. I like it.
You guys are going to hate that I, like...
First of all, In and Out is the inferior burger. It's about Fat Burger on the West Coast. I'm Fat Burger all day.
I'll note
gotta
it.
check it out.
To me, that would be a gag gift. If I ordered
Triple fatty with cheese.
If I ordered that through Goldbelly, it would be a gag gift, right? Because you're paying a premium for like a hamburger.
You're not going to order
essentially.
every week. You know,
No,
it's not like
and
this is
you
my
get it-
Wednesday
you get
night
it for
dinner.
somebody who can't experience it. It's about the
Be
experience.
like, you know what? I want to get some In and Out or Fat Burger.
Cats is on there. If you don't live in New York, you get some Cats pastrami any day of the week. That's kind of nice.
All
Triple
right.
fatty with cheese. Did I say that?
Yeah.
That's the way to go. I want one right now, actually.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever's going to make you the
3
happiest.
half-pound patties.
Nice.
Half-pound patties. Yeah.
Do they have those in San Diego? Or I got to go looking for
I'm
it?
sure there are. Yeah, it's a West Coast thing.
So you're going to go back
And they have
twice
Dr.
a week.
Pitt. Mr. Pitt.
Dr.
Oh yeah, it
Mr.
doesn't
Mr.
exist
Pitt.
anymore, huh?
Yeah, so I'll be there. I'll be there a couple days a week on my off days from diner.
All right. Are you ready to go back into the full swing commute here of going back down to the city? I don't think I want to go back into
That
the
is
city.
for sure something that's been weighing on my mind. I'm not super excited about it, but I'm super excited to be like doing something again.
And for us, for people listening, that's a
Getting
40
those
minute.
tongs working again.
It's a 40-minute commute,
Or the
pretty
tweezers.
much, to hop on the train and hop on the subway and get down to the job, essentially.
However, though, this so USC is in Midtown or Lower Midtown,
Okay.
so I don't have to go all the way down to the financial
So
district.
you
like I
shave
was
a
before.
little bit of time off. Fine. It doesn't change the fact that there's still travel involved. At the end
For
of
sure.
the night, you still have to make sure that you make the specific train that runs every 40 minutes or whatever it is, right?
I believe I'm going in there in a prep capacity, so I don't intend to stay there all night.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you get back the knife skills again
Exactly,
and the plating
exactly.
skills. And
slow it in, you know?
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Ease it in. It's been almost a year, you know?
so, yeah, when you're in there, the first thing that you prep, you're going to have to take a picture and put it on the Waiting on Fries Instagram
I believe
account.
it'll be that 100-layer lasagna I was speaking about.
Awesome. I can't wait to see this happen.
I'm excited.
All right, cool. And
That 100-layer lasagna sounds good right now. I could go for a plate.
Go get some.
I'm
Walk
with-
right into the city.
I'm on a lean diet though for the next 2 weeks because I'm hitting Tampa.
Can't eat that.
Hitting Tampa, and I'm going hard. No drinking, no. I'm going grilled chicken, smoothie in the morning, grilled chicken, and that's it for the next 2 weeks. Like
Very
it's in Tampa.
intense.
Get my beach body on, you know.
Yeah.
you're a good man. You're a good man. I need to be doing some push-ups or hitting the gym a little bit, getting
that-
something going here.
Gym's
you
like
know?
50
Yeah,
feet
you
away,
have a
man.
gym right downstairs. I wish I had this.
Right upstairs.
It's like
upstairs, yeah.
It's 4 more floors up though. I gotta
Don't
get
you live
up
on the
there.
second floor?
Yeah,
3 floors.
same
So
thing.
there's your cardio.
yeah.
Just jump right into the
You know?
weights.
Think about going up, come right back
I
down.
wish
I
I
did my
had that. That'd
job.
be
Me
great.
too.
Get yourself a Peloton. You're good to go.
Now, you just said you had the smoothest Super Bowl you've ever had last week, right?
This was, yes, the surprisingly smoothest Super Bowl Sunday we've run so far. Great operationally. Long day. Long ass day.
A long day that starts with bagels, as is tradition.
Bagel tradition, absolutely.
Did it start with Katy Perry as well? Did you blast Katy Perry?
We didn't blast Katy Perry. It was like kind of rough morning because of the snowstorm. Because
Okay.
I throw that in there.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
We had the snowstorm, so we were a little bit late starting off, which made me think it wasn't going to be
Is that is that the first Super Bowl snowstorm that Smokehouse has had?
13 years
Yeah.
since 2007. We've done 13. This is our 13th Super Bowl minus one because of the fire last year.
Yeah.
And then every year we've had like great weather. It's been like 50 plus degrees,
Yep.
sunny, whatever.
Because
And
in old Neuro, you had to cook outside.
yeah, and Mike was saying, he's like, yo, we're supposed to get a storm on Sunday. I was like, not Super Bowl. It's gonna be gorgeous out. Don't worry about it. Even the Super Bowl that was in New York,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
nice Super Bowl Sunday, and then
It
we got
was.
pounded the next day with
Yep.
the snowstorm.
I
But
remember
Mike was like, yeah, it's gonna come. I'm like, nah, it's Super Bowl. It's gonna be gorgeous out. I wake up Sunday morning.
Yep.
Covered.
I remember that was the first thought because I took my dog out for a walk and I was like, damn, they got to do Super Bowl in this. And it didn't stop until like what, 6, 7 o'clock, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was snowing all day, and people were calling like, "Oh, it's a storm. Are you guys open?" I'm like, "Yeah." There was no way we were closing.
Exactly.
Today. There was no shot that was gonna happen.
So smoothest operationally, what did you do different? What made a big difference?
Our setup was much more put together.
Mm-hmm.
First Super Bowl where we didn't have New Rochelle open. So everybody was there.
That's a higher demand on one restaurant, obviously.
Higher demand on one restaurant, so we were getting a lot of calls from the Neuro,
Area.
the Neuro area, looking for wings and stuff like that. So we had to transition everybody from the traditional wings that they were used to the tailgate wings.
That must have been a little bit of a battle.
That was a little. Oh, where's the? Let me get that habanaki. I'm like, oh,
We're not doing that this
we
year.
don't have that anymore.
Oh man, is
That's-
that going to be back at New Rochelle? Or
I don't think so. No, I don't. No, I shouldn't say I don't think so. It's not. Tailgate wings is the wing. That's the
stand
way.
strong. Get behind the tailgate.
That's the way we're going. We might run a special every once in a while because habanaki is the flavor.
Habanaki is always a great flavor.
It's the flavor. It's the best flavor
Yeah.
that we've ever put out there. Maybe we can figure out how to do habanaki sauce
Wings.
for the tailgate wings.
That could be something we could work on.
You know, because that's the key. But anyway, switching to those wings made it a little bit easier because of the fire time. Obviously, the prep time is a lot longer, but the fire time is
Fire
easier.
time's a lot quicker.
We got the hot holding set up correctly this year with enough hot holding so we could fire everything, throw it in there, and then when people are coming in for the wings, we just pull the tray out.
So you're
Boom,
not
boom,
occupying your
boom.
grill last minute
Yeah.
and taking up all
Yeah.
that time.
How many wings did you set out?
A couple thousand. It wasn't as many as we usually do.
Okay.
But that was, because, COVID.
Yeah.
And then B, because of COVID, there weren't enough chickens. Actually, every year they lose the chickens, right? I like to laugh because every year the price goes up and they
Right.
charge like crazy money for chicken wings.
I
And
saw somebody post this year that chickens was selling at like $3.75 a pound, something
Dude.
around that.
a 40-pound case
Yeah.
that usually costs us $80 was $130.
Kind of crazy.
Right? That was the difference this year.
That is
But
rough.
the problem is that they used to lose the chickens on purpose because it was Super Bowl, and then they could say, oh, there's a chicken shortage. And
Right.
I used to say it was a conspiracy that they would just do that every year.
Every year around Super Bowl. to
Yeah,
raise
around
the price.
Super Bowl, raise the price. This year they actually This year they actually didn't produce enough chickens because they weren't sure what how the restaurant industry was going, who was going to be open, who wasn't. You can't overproduce. So there was actually a chicken shortage, and we actually couldn't get it. So every year before, they would say there's a chicken shortage, but you could order as many. More. Right. Yeah, you pay more, but you could order as much as you want. This year, you couldn't, and we had to go from vendor to vendor and like pull a couple cases over here, a couple cases over there. That's how we rolled.
That's rough.
But operationally, it was the smoothest one.
Nice. Would you say the majority of your orders went out to New Rochelle, or is it like the Mamaroneck area?
They were mostly pickups, surprisingly, in the storm. Not that we didn't have any deliveries, but there was it was a lot of pickups. But yeah, we were all over the place. Nice. Mamaroneck, Rye, New Rochelle, Portchester.
It's funny.
Scarsdale.
It's funny when you see how a lot of these places are all. They're huge on selling wings during the Super Bowl. They're huge on getting the orders in ahead of time. They've got to know the numbers that they're pulling in. These places, they're requesting a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance. You start putting your orders through so they can know how many numbers they need to get on these wings. And for me, my question is just like, how many chickens are actually out there in the first place that they have all these wings? Like, where's the rest of the chicken go? I'm so confused by where the rest of the chicken goes.
Into a different case to be used at another restaurant, you know?
But like the wings are so damn small. These are like chiclets.
On some of them.
So like, where's the rest of the chiclet go? I've never seen a chiclet on the store shelf for you to be able to purchase.
You're saying you've never seen like a wing-sized chicken breast?
You've never seen Dino Nuggets?
No, explain.
At Costco?
Like the little miniature nuggets where they're all just ground up? That's the rest of the chiclet?
Yeah.
It could be.
Or, 10-piece chicken nuggets at McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, cool. You've got a point that I didn't really think about further. Think about the local places that are just known to be slamming out wings for years now, right? And we don't. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say we don't have to name them, but they exist. They've erected a whole separate area for catering pickups and for just cooking these to-go orders, essentially. And that's over the years of realizing how big they've gotten and how much room they need to actually produce these wings or, whatever the hell they're selling during catering seasons to not affect the actual the restaurant itself. So when you're talking about you're having a problem finding wings and there's like these shortages, like is it places like that are just so used to getting so many pounds of wings come Super Bowl that you're just not allocated in other stores for them?
I mean, if you do a certain amount of volume, you probably allocated your wings ahead of somebody who does a fraction of that volume.
I would suspect the case.
I mean, certain places are before, but this year was actually like we're an allocated, right? Like we have wings allocated. Usually we sign a contract every year.
They usually have the trailer parked in the back parking lot at New Row, and it's just full of wings.
So we would be one of those businesses that would get the wings ahead of other people. But even we had to pick here and there from place to place. So
yeah, that could be tough. Like, what do you do in this situation where you can't produce the wings that you were supposed to be able to produce?
Push the ribs.
Yeah, push the ribs, exactly. And what we did actually is we sold a ton of thighs, like the fried
little thighs.
So we do like a boneless wing with chicken thighs, and they're fried. So once we got close to the wing being capped, the number of wings we could do, we just say, hey, we got boneless all day. Yeah. There wasn't a shortage on thighs.
And I don't know. For me, I can't do. I'm not a thigh lover. I'm not.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
No, I understand ranches for rookies. I get it.
No.
I'm saying that
you're wrong. The thigh is a new wing.
I'm not into the thighs as a wing.
You're wrong.
Not a boneless wing either. It's just completely different. Do you fry? You're frying it though.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'd like it a little bit more that way then. I'm just thinking of thigh kind of just being the same way that the wings are produced, which they're not really fried in New Rochelle. They're like more so grilled, rolled, baked, and then you flash fry them a little bit, right? Smoked.
What is this guy talking about?
Smoked. You smoke the wings in Mamaroneck, right?
Don't confuse it. All right, New Rochelle, we did traditional wings.
Correct. I'm not talking about New Rochelle. It doesn't exist right now.
You just said New Rochelle.
So Mamaroneck, I meant to say smokehouse.
Yeah.
So Mamaroneck, they're smoked the wings.
Yeah.
Then they hit the grill.
Yeah, they're never fried.
Oh, I thought there was like a flash.
Rub smoked, grilled, then rolled. Have you seen
the
t-shirt?
So for me, if you were going to do a thigh like that, I don't know if I could buy into it.
A smoked and grilled thigh is a delicious piece of meat.
Yeah.
Look, we all have our opinions. Some people eat Lucky Charms for breakfast, Yeah, okay. I didn't win any boxes. I'm not happy about Super Bowl.
I did.
Oh, good for you, man.
Seriously?
Boom, yeah.
I didn't win any boxes either.
That's fantastic. You know, I'm glad. Did you guys host it at Smokehouse or no?
No. I didn't. I didn't get into it. We didn't sell any boxes. No.
Okay. I think
I got in on one somewhere else.
And it hit.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, a lot of places look forward to selling their boxes, you know, behind their bars or registers or whatever it is.
I usually do, but since we've only had no seats at the bar all the time,
a little harder to sell.
it's harder
maybe.
to sell, and I didn't want to worry about having to cover the box.
Because then you have to use directly social media essentially to sell this thing.
Yeah. That's how I bought my box.
That
Social
or just
media.
end up buying 50 of the boxes and you know,
And having to cover
like
that.
if you sell 50 and then you have to cover the other 50, you could win, you hit, okay, but what if you pay
What
for
if you
50 of
don't?
the boxes?
I love one of the guys I used to work with beside through the day, Miles. Shout out to Miles. He would be like, I love hosting these boxes. It's great. It's like a thing. It brings people in. He goes, however, I'm so sick of getting fucked and having to buy the last 10 boxes that don't sell repeatedly. So like, yeah, all right, I could understand the trouble that, you know, you wind up getting into through doing the boxes.
Guys, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button because, you know, algorithms.